What's happening, folks? Back with a reaction, back with a new artist for the first time on the channel. We're going to listen to Thomas Dolby. Anyone who might be new here, welcome. I do things a little bit differently than a lot of other reaction channels. I react to physical media. I have multiple thousands of records and CDs. Since I started doing these reactions, a number of friends of the channel have stepped in and started sharing their collection with me, either by actually sending me physical releases or ripping parts of their physical collection and allowing me to react to it. So it's become this big, multifaceted musical journey on the channel, so if you're new, welcome. And yeah, I don't react to YouTube videos. I got nothing against that. I know that's basically the standard fare for a lot of reactors, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I'm in my early 40s. I was born in 1980, so I've been collecting music a long time. As you can see, I do celebrate physical media, so that's just what the channel started with, and over time I've had a lot of encouragement and said that, hey, we like that you do things a little differently here. So that's what the channel's all about. We are going to react to Thomas Dolby. This is an artist a few people, a few friends and champions of the channel have been suggesting, hand solo, perhaps more than any other, and he has made material available to me from his proper discography. But here's the thing, when I went to do a reaction to the Golden Age of Wireless, which for an album in '82 is it's such a it's a funny name for that time, and then in retrospect it has this kind of ironic quality in that it was still, there was digital stuff happening in the early 80s certainly, but compared to technology in decades later, it's still much more analog, still much more physical and hands-on and less digital and wireless and so on. So that's a really interesting title for an album, and we will start going through that, but we're gonna start because when I went to look up on the Discogs page, when you pull up an artist in the search function, it'll show you if you have anything in your collection, which again, anyone who doesn't use Discogs, if you have a large collection, it really helps. It takes a while to enter everything in there, but once you have it in, you can learn more about the actual releases you have because people write notes and people include information that may not be clearly on the liner notes, and eventually, you can get a system going where you indicate on my Discogs collection, it'll say what shelf a release is on, and I get okay, that's where I need to go find it. So yeah, big shout out to Discogs. In any case, it was you have one release by Thomas Dolby. I was wait, what? So I went to my collection on Discogs, went to the search function, typed Thomas Dolby, and this came up as being in my 80s vinyl collection. Sure enough, went over to the collection, and there it is. So I don't remember exactly when I got this. I don't even know if I ever listened to it when I got it. I mentioned it before. I've gotten a lot of 80s vinyl over the years from different people who are hey, so-and-so's sister is getting rid of her 80s vinyl collection. Do you want it? Because you, I know, collect a lot of music. Yeah, sure. And then you get 40, 50 records, and you go through some, but some you don't know, so you kind of flip past them or whatever. So I assume it was one of those moments of the last, I got my turntables 98, started buying records, that year. And indeed, so it's been 25 years essentially since I've been buying records. So I don't know exactly when this came into my collection, but here it is. I have to say this is one of the most epic and amazing photographs for a front cover. There is a similar type of picture on the back, but the facial expression in the front, it's beyond hilarious. It's not a gurning face, but it is a sort of over the top Gene Wilder type of face. So I'm very intrigued by that. He seems to be playing a violin here, so I'm intrigued by that. People who know the channel will know I'm a big fan of all different types of music, but string music, whether in a classical context or whether strings in a synth pop tune or whatever, I do very much enjoy. So I noticed there's two tracks on this. One is listed under his own name, Thomas Dolby, and that's Hyperactive. And the other tune is listed as Dolby's Cube. I had to look that up. Apparently he did a release with George Clinton, the P-Funk All-Stars guy, along with another artist who I was less familiar with. But so apparently Thomas Dolby collaborated with George Clinton. I'm intrigued by that. We're going to start with the tune that is by Dolby though, and it's Hyperactive. I don't know if it says it here. It doesn't say it here. Did it list it? Okay, so I looked this up on Discogs earlier, and I think on Discogs it says this is Heavy Breather Subversion is the subtitle of the track. It doesn't say it on the label here. But yeah, this is apparently Hyperactive, Heavy Breathing Subversive? Subversion. Heavy Breather Subversion. So this vinyl is from '84. On Discogs, it's listed as new wave, electronic, and rock. So, maybe a synth rock sound is what I would expect to hear, but not really knowing anything about this artist outside of what a few people have said in the last couple weeks that, oh, hey, he'd be an interesting artist to go through. I really have no context for this. So, I don't know if it'll be like lyric heavy, but hyperactive, just to sort of, think about it. It makes me wonder if the sonics will be very energetic, and it's expressed that way. Maybe it will actually have some lines about hyperactivity, whether that's like in the mind or whether that's like the world around you seeming to be hyperactive. So I feel like it could go a few different ways. And again, if you're new here, when I listen to a track I already know, I'll just talk about the lyrics for a minute or two, not in any definitive way, but just, here's what the lyrics have meant to me, or here's how I've interpreted them. And if I don't know a tune, I'll just take a minute or two to think about the title, what it might suggest, what themes might be in play, even more speculatively, obviously, but it allows my brain to get working, excuse me, so if I hear a line that does fit in, I can sort of very quickly interpret it in that way. Nevertheless, as my voice dies, we will listen to Thomas Dolby's Hyperactive Heavy Breather Subversion, which is a very interesting subtitle. This is from 1984 on Capitol Records.
The minute I'll blow.
We got like synthetic AI voices. Whoa. Synth rock funk. I never heard of this.
Machine just to keep my mouth from spouting joke. Must have took me for a fool, cause they chucked me out of school, cause the teacher knew I had the fun. But tonight I'm on the edge, and I shut me in the fridge because I'm bad. With the vision in my brain, and the music in my veins, and the dirty rhythm in my blood. I'm messing with my heart. And I'm messing with my heart. And I'm messing with my heart. Once I'm messing with my heart, ripping me apart. Hyperactive when it's small, hyperactive when I'm gone, hyperactive when the night is young. The minute I'll go.
Shout out to the brass.
And I'm messing with my heart. So hold on, you can call it illusions. Keep on messing with my heart. Please tell me more about your mother. Ripping me apart. Soundboard, out on the floor. Messages from outer space. Deep heat for the feet. The rhythm of your heartbeat. Cause the music of history, it isn't any rap attack. It isn't any rap attack.
Feels like a fusion of many different things.
I can reach into your arms like an edge in your headphones. You can turn it up. Yeah, I'm the shape in your back room. I'm the breather on the phone. And I'm burning up.
I'm breathing on the phone.
But there's one thing I must say before they lock me up again. You've been safer at the back. But I'm having it.
God. Well, that is one hell of an opener for a deep dive on this artist. I mean, it feels like it was synth rock, but also like a bit experimental, and there were a lot of sort of like, you know, reverse kick and sort of like sort of rhythmic flourishes at the end of the measures. Just a lot of like eccentricity in the production. It was like big and loud and sort of like different elements are sort of like, you know, clashing against each other, but in a sort of way that works consonantly. Like, it's just a really interesting tune and like a lot of influences. It felt like synth rock, but there was a funk layer to it. The vocals, I like the kind of dueling vocals. Shout out if you know who the female vocalist is on that one. I don't think there's not like much information. It's really like it's just completely black on the backside except for that picture. So I don't know, maybe it says it on the label. Let me see. But yeah, I am curious who the female vocalist was. Does it say here? Nope. Produced by Thomas Morgan Dolby Robertson. So apparently that's his full name. Like I said, 1984. And on the other side, as I said, it's the special dance version of Get Out of My Mix by Dolby's Cube, which again apparently features George Clinton, though it again says produced by Thomas Morgan Dolby Robertson. So in any case, we'll come back for that one in a little bit. But yeah, ultimately, I think after this opener, I'm going to start going through the catalog properly, and then perhaps like when we get back to like 84, we'll do the flip side of this, the Dolby's Cube tune. So yeah, shout out to Han Solo and a few others for sort of, you know, bringing this artist to my attention and suggesting it as a potential deep dive. Really enjoyed that first track. I know it's a bit out of chronological order, but yeah, there's been a couple deep dives that started that way. Like U2 would be another example, and there's another one too that I'm blanking on. Yeah, I can't think of it at the moment. Regardless, that's not important. We'll come back for more Thomas Dolby, though it will be from the golden age of wireless. Do let me know what you think of this. I will see you next time. Peace.